Oh my gosh. What's up, everybody? Happy freaking Monday, first day of November. Some of you guys had a time change. Did everyone here have a time change? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you live in Arizona, you don't have a time change. Ha ha ha. Which actually is a ha 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 on us. It's actually very challenging when you have businesses in different states and you have a community that is I guess we call this North America wide. I don't know if anybody else is anybody on here who's not North America. I think it's just North America, Canada, United States. If you're not in North America, comment
And
below.
UK.
UK, hey, we got someone in a different country.
All right.
Look at that. Growth, a sign of growth, right?
We're international officially.
We are now officially international. Yes. I don't think we have anybody internationally inside the mentorship yet. So exciting though, exciting. This call is now international. Cool. And dude, Katie, what happened?
What happened is we hit $1 million run rate again.
With the second company. Yeah, guys, this is crazy. It's crazy. Okay, so, oh man, where to start? Where do I start? Okay, actually, before I get into it, I'll let the late people be on time. Thank you guys for being on time. Look at that. We have 30 some people in here already who are on time. Appreciate you guys. But as you guys know, most people are late. Most people don't show up on time. They got other things going on. They have excuses. They have reasons that are totally reasonable to them, but not to you guys, right? You guys don't take, like, those are excuses. Okay. However, we're gonna let them play today. Okay, we'll let them play. We'll see the greatness in them, and I'll wait to share how this
I have
all
a filler
happened.
question for you that you can answer while we wait.
Well, hold on. I told Marcus, who's inside the community, a question, and I want to use that as a start. And Katie, you can pop in after that. But so Marcus has a question in the chat. Also, if you guys have questions, like, put them in the chat. Okay, put them in the chat.
That was my question to Phil.
Oh,
it was Marcus's.
Oh my gosh.
Can I ask it? And then you can answer.
Please. And if you guys do have questions, type in the chat. You guys might get them answered. Cool.
Fabulous.
What's the question in the chat, Katie?
You said you do daily workouts. Like, do you not ever rest? Do you not ever sleep? Do you not ever do anything besides work out and build cleaning companies?
Yeah. Cool. So what Marcus is referencing is the podcast. So some of you guys might not know this, but I've been doing a podcast since 2020. I should think it was like September or October of 2020. So it's been 5 years. I've done a podcast every single week for 5 freaking years. And when I started it, I was actually talking about fitness. And so I think that's where this comes from, is Marcus is referencing an old podcast where I was working out every single day. And so I'll give you a little context to that, and then I'll actually answer your question to where it actually will be helpful and useful, and hopefully for everybody else as well. So at the time, I had just got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in 2018. So if you guys are unfamiliar with type 1 diabetes, it generally happens in kids, but essentially what happens is your pancreas, which is what provides, it secretes insulin in your body. So every time you guys eat any sort of carbohydrates, any sugars, your blood sugars rise, and then the pancreas says, blood sugar is too high, and the pancreas goes, and it shoots off insulin into your bloodstream, and all of a sudden your blood sugars go from like 400 or 500 down to like 100. And you're like, oh, I'm good, right? That's what your pancreas does. And when you get type 1 diabetes, that pancreas, it no longer works, right? For a myriad of reasons, but very simply, like, your body attacks it. It's a type 1 diabetes is actually an autoimmune disease, which means like your own body's cells kills itself. And so that happened to me in 2018. I was 29 years old when it happened. And so, yeah, I started working. This is actually the point where I started working with Dr. Kashi, and I ended up paying him a lot of money for him to teach me how to manage type 1 diabetes. And one of the things that I discovered amongst this journey of trying to figure out how to manage this thing was that working out acted kind of like insulin. That when I would work out, it actually brought my blood sugars down without actually having to take more insulin. And so I was like, wow, I could actually just like take less insulin, which would save me more money, less injections, and honestly probably just be more useful if I just worked out more to bring my blood sugars down. And so that's what I started doing. I started working out every single day because of that reason. And so that was the reason I started. And then I find out I just eventually just liked working out. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And I ended up working out for 141 days in a row. So it was like over 3 years. I worked out every single day. And do you remember what killed my progress, Katie?
Yeah, how could I forget? COVID.
Yeah, COVID killed my progress. Not because I couldn't go to the gym. I had my own gym. I had a home gym. So like my streak stopped in September of 2021. I actually got COVID, and like I almost died. Like I was on my deathbed. I was, man, it got me good. I was out for a month, but so that's where the working out came from. So Marcus, to answer your question specifically today, if you want to work out every single day, yes. Can you recover? That's really kind of like what your question came from, is like, can you recover? So like working out is very general. And so like if you're doing bench press and you're doing deadlifts and you're doing squats and you're doing them for like 3 to 5 reps and you're getting to like 80 to 85% of what you could possibly do, you could not do that every single day. Okay. So the more extreme workouts that you do, so if you guys think about extreme workouts, I think about it like powerlifting, Olympic lifting, and then probably like below that, I would start to do like, I want to say CrossFit, because CrossFit kind of involves a lot of those things. But if you think about more like bodyweight type stuff, like pull-ups and push-ups and things that are just like less exhausting on your central nervous system, then you can actually just train more. But so it depends. It depends on goal, right? So if like when I say harder you work out, I don't necessarily mean like more intensity. I just mean like the more weight you lift. And there's certain movements like squats and deadlifts and bench presses and overhead presses. You can just lift the most weight on, which causes the most disruption, which also causes the most muscle gain. So depending on if your goal is to gain muscle, then those exercises are great. If you just want to do bodyweight exercises, you can literally lift every single day, twice a day, 3 times a day. Like it just depends on how really how much volume, how much weight you lift every single day, depending on how much rest you also need. Right. So like nowadays, like I work out 3 days in a row, then I rest 1 day, and then I do that and I repeat that cycle for eternity. So that's what I do now. So Katie, anything you want to add to that? Anything I missed on that before we get into the actual juice today? It was like, how do we build and build our business? Not how do we look real big, strong, and sexy for life? That's not important.
Yeah. Actually, I do have one thing to add. I think it's the secret sauce is like consistency. So even though Logan has 3 days on and 1 day off, he still goes to the gym on the off day, and he just moves around in the gym. So the schedule, the consistency, the showing up stays the same, just whether or not he pushes limits during that day, yes or no.
Cool. All right, guys. Let's get into it today. So, man, I've been working on this for a while, guys, because like I just wanted to help you guys get clarity on what it actually takes to build and build our business. And I think it's important that you guys are able to hear from Katie and I, who have now not just done it once, but now we've done it twice. We've done it in different markets, in different states. We've done it with different teams. And what's probably most important is that the first business is still growing, like a lot, without us actually operating the business. And so that's what I want to share with you guys here is like, I want to share with you guys like how does that happen? And so you guys can be able to understand what it actually takes, because guys, it ain't easy at all. And that's the thing I want to start with. Like, it is very challenging. It's very difficult. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of skills. It takes a lot of working outside of business hours in order for us to not work as much during business hours. Let's put it that way. Okay. So we can do calls like this with you guys, right? We can coach you guys and learn from you guys and then apply that in growing our business, which is one of the reasons that we're also able to do it, which I'll highlight here shortly. Okay. But I think it's most important for you guys. So some of you guys are brand spanking new here. You guys have never even heard of me. Like there's some people on here who I've never seen you guys. Like it's important for you guys to understand like how we got here. Okay. And so 12 years ago, actually December of 2013, I started my very first business. Okay. And that was actually a gym. Okay. And for the first 3 years of that gym, I made $135,000 in revenue in 3 years. So if we want to do the math on that, that's less than $50,000 a year. That's less than $5,000 a month for 3 years. And so the reason that I couldn't get past $5,000 in revenue is because I had zero skills and I had zero direction and I had 100% of an ego. I was the man. I was the shit. But clearly, My business was not. And so 3 years into the business, I finally got humbled enough to start looking for help and start to realize that like I couldn't do this myself. Clearly what I was doing wasn't working and wasn't sustainable. And so I started looking for help. And man, I got lucky. I ended up finding this guy from a Facebook ad who today is very famous. But back in 2017, not a single person, including myself, knew who Alex Hormozi was. Nobody. And so when I saw this guy say, I can fill your gym up in 30 days, I was like, prove it. And he's like, okay. And he showed me he had 6 gyms that he did himself, that he filled up his gyms. I'm like, okay. And then he had probably like 3 or 4 other testimonials of other people who had helped fill their gyms up. And I was like, dang, what else he got? And then you guys will think I'm silly, but he had this video on his Facebook, and it was actually of him squatting 465 pounds for like 5 reps. And I'm not joking, guys. I was like, you can't fake that. And I was like, sold. Like I was sold on his actually squat, along with the other things as well. And I gave that stranger from Facebook $10,000. And I trusted him. I trusted him to actually, I wouldn't say I trusted him. I trusted myself to figure out what I need to figure out in order to get that $10,000 back, because that was the last of my money. Actually, it was that money was underneath my mattress that I slept on every single night, and yeah, that was it, man. And when I made that investment into Alex's program, I got access to a system that had proven to work, and he had helped me learn the skill sets to go along with that system. He learned me how to market. He taught me how to market and how to sell, and he taught me how to fulfill, and he taught me how to actually freaking run a freaking business. And yeah, he taught me how to actually make money. And I'll be forever grateful for that period of my life, right? At the time, there was this app called Voxer. Some of you guys might have heard of this. Most of you guys probably haven't heard it, but that's how we communicated. We communicate on this app called Voxer, and almost every single day, like, tell me your numbers. And man, he just kept pushing me. Like, I got to the place where like I had made the money back within about 2 weeks, actually after the first week, but it was the second week that like I started to get scared. I was like, I don't know where to put these people. Now I have a different problem. I have like, I don't know if I can fulfill. I don't know if I can actually like do the work now. And I wanted to stop. And Alex just told me to keep going. He's like, keep going, like sell 100. I was like, I can't do it. I can't sell 100. I told Katie, like, I got to stop it. She's like, keep going. I'm like so grateful that someone kept pushing me, because I wanted to stop. I didn't want to keep going. And just so grateful for that time in my life. And yeah, learn how to make money. And so, you know, from 2017, 2018, probably into 2019, like Katie and I, we stacked cash. That was kind of the anthem that Alex had sold me on, is like stacking cash. But the reason wasn't just like to have money. It was like, what are you gonna do with the money? And the whole goal was to get freedom. How many of you guys in here want freedom? Right? Like that was the goal, was freedom. And so at the time, we're like, this gym thing, like that's not going to be our goal to freedom. Like we actually want to do real estate. That was like passive income and having a bunch of rentals. That's what we were so focused on. And no matter how much Alex told me that I was silly, I was like, nope, bro, I'm focused. I'm buying real estate. And that's what we did. You know, from 2019, when we bought our first piece of real estate, to 2023 is when we bought, I would say, our last chunk of real estate. We literally invested, guys, over $850,000 of our own cash into real estate. Like we just, any freaking money we got, we're buying real estate. We're buying real estate. Because I was so focused on getting this financial freedom through real estate. And Alex has.
Have you guys ever played the game Monopoly, where you like go around the board and you have all the properties? We have zero cash. That was like real life for us. There was not $1 in the bank account.
Yeah, it was very stressful.
Terrifying.
It was very stressful. And Alex has this video, and I'm like, I just like it resonates with me so much. He's like, people will spend thousands of hours a month to try to find $1,000 a month in passive income. And that was us. Like we were so focused on this idea of passive. I would spend so much time trying to find passive income. And looking back on it, it was just so silly. It was so silly. I had this vehicle in front of me that was making money. I just needed to make more with that thing. But anyway, that was part of our journey. It was part of our journey. But the other thing that has been consistent is that we invested a lot in mentorships and coaching. And so I did the math on this, and I just did it with there's probably like 5 people who we invested significant amounts of money with. And there's other like little courses and things along the way that we definitely bought, but like I can think about 5 people who we gave at least $15,000 to. And totaling it up between those 5 people, we've invested over $200,000 into mentorship and coaching since 2017, right? Because I always believe that like the information and having access to somebody who's already done what you want to do, I just like intuitively, I was like, that's the right way to do things. Like find somebody who's already done what I want to do, and also who's helped other people do what I want to do. And like, let me just like ask them the question. Let me just like, give me the blueprint, brother. Tell me how to do it. And one of those mentorships that we did, this one's even tough to say, but like it was $100,000 mentorship. Just one of those was. No payment plan, by the way, either, guys. Like 0 payment plan. It's funny. The bigger that the mentorships go, like they don't offer payment plans. That one was a mindset / real estate mentorship. And again, we didn't get any assets. We literally just got coaching. But one of the pieces of advice that we got from him, and obviously we were very bought in to this person to give him that much money, is he told us to start a bunch of small businesses. He's like, you guys are good at business. I can tell you guys have the gym. You guys are buying this real estate, but like you guys should like just start like a bunch of these small businesses. Like you guys like have skills. And so that's how we started the first cleaning business, guys. Right? We started our first cleaning business in Montana because Coach said so. And so Bozeman 5 Star Cleaning was born October 2020, so literally 5 years ago. That's when we started our first home cleaning business. And Katie, do you know what the revenue was for the Montana location in its first year in 2020?
Just under $7,000. We did $6,700.
Yeah. So again, in about 2.5 months, so that's fine. But in 2021, what did that business do?
174,000.
Yeah. So it wasn't guys like we like were really amazing and fast and growing businesses at that point either. Like we were still learning, very much so. And then in 2022, this was the 3rd year.
436,000.
Yeah. So we're starting to see some progress. And then in 2023,
1.1 million.
Yeah, so like that's when we figured it out. It was in between 2022 and 2023 we figured out this business. You guys want to know what we figured out? You guys want to know like why there was such a big jump between 2022 and 2023? Yeah, you guys are probably gonna get this one. This is why I wanted to share this with you guys. And yeah, it's important for you guys to share like the whole story. Is we realized that this was the business. Like we liked this business. And at the time we still had the gym, we were still buying real estate. And this is when we stopped. We stopped doing the gym, got rid of it. We stopped buying more real estate. We actually started to sell some of the real estate. And this was one of the reasons the business started to grow.
We just put our full attention on it.
We committed to this business. We committed. And also in 2023 was also at the end of 2023, this is actually when Katie and I moved to Arizona. And so we were kind of splitting time. Like we had planned to split time between Montana and Arizona, but then we actually just made the commitment to actually move to Arizona in 2023, which created another problem, is that who was actually going to run this Montana location? And I'm not sure if Elia is on here today, but this is where Elia got the opportunity to become the GM of Bozeman. And yeah, and when Elia got the keys to Bozeman, it was already doing it again. It had done 1.1 million that year. And she had to learn real quickly how to like take this thing and not just run it, not just manage it, but like also how to grow it. And again, the most exciting thing to me is that she got it at 1.1, and 2024 it did 1.3, and then this year it's going to do 1.5. And Katie and I haven't lived in Montana since 2023.
That's crazy.
So thankful for Elia, because she's the one who has like allowed a lot of this to happen. Like this would not happen, guys, if it wasn't for Elia. So much of this would not have happened. Like, because our attention would have needed to be on location number one. Okay. And it was also in this time, actually in 2024, excuse me, I hired a coach. I hired another coach. $4,000 a month, did it for 9 months. And about 3 months in, he was like, you should just start a second location. Like, again, like your income, like you've shown that you can grow a cleaning business. Now you should just do it again. And I drug my feet for 6 months.
It's actually so comical to go back and listen to these calls. He had every excuse known to man.
Yeah. When I yell at you guys, just understand I'm yelling at myself. Like, I'm just yelling at myself. Like, I just drug my feet. I did. I had every excuse. And I'll tell you, looking back on it, what I was afraid of. I was afraid to work. At that point in my life, I had freedom. Like, I didn't have to work. We had already met our financial security number. I was good. I was good. Right. I was also afraid to fail. I was like, I already did this once. Like, what if I do it a second time, but I can't do it? That was scary. It was scary for my ego. It was scary for my ego. And also, I was afraid to let you guys down. I was like, what if I can't do it again? Like, what will you guys think of me? And so it was 6 months of paying somebody $1,000 an hour. So I paid them, what is that? 50 grand? No, 20 grand, 25 grand to him to tell me one simple piece of advice. Start a freaking cleaning business. So eventually I listened. And it was 87 weeks ago. Sorry, 87 weeks ago. I think I said in the marketing was 88, but actually it was off. That was my fault. 87 weeks ago, we started this call, Road to a Million, with the goal being what, Katie? What was the goal for this goal?
Get to a million. Road to a million.
Yeah. Our goal was to start to share the journey of us growing a second cleaning business from zero clients, zero reputation. Again, mind you guys, this is a different state. We have no friends down here, with no family down here. Like, we have no network down here. Arguably harder than starting in a place that you've lived in for a long time. And I was like, let's just document this thing. And the very first Road to a Million call was 87 weeks ago. And James, if you will, you can drop the link for the free, inside the free group for the Road to a Million. You guys actually go watch episode 1. Actually watch it this weekend.
Actually, don't go watch it.
Yeah, watch it to go see that, like, this business started at zero. Like, our very first week, we did one clean for $400. It was a guy named Ryan Overcash. If you guys go to the free group and if you guys go to the Road to a Million replays, you guys can literally watch episode 1. And it was so bad. The advice was bad. There was actually people on here today. Marie Jed is on here. Marie Jed was on that call. Janissa's on this call right now. You were on that call. And Ada E was on that call. I'm not sure if she's on here today, but it was cool. You guys were on that call before you guys were actually clients, and now you guys are clients. That's so cool. Yeah, that's how it all started. It was just us wanting to share the journey. Just share the journey. And yeah, I started out by Katie cleaning. So if you guys actually watch episode 1, you guys will see that Katie did show up at the end of that call and showed up in her scrubs. Like, girl was in her scrubs, just got home from a cleaning. And that's what Katie did. She cleaned and she trained for about 3 months. And I sold and hired by myself in the office for 3 months. And then after 3 months, then Katie actually came to the office with me, and we both sold, we both hired, we were leading team meetings. That's what we did. And in 6 months, we got the business to 37,000, which I thought was pretty good. I was like, that's pretty cool. And then at that point, we actually hired 2 office people. We hired Megan and Keziah to come into the office, which were both cleaners. Both of them had no experience in sales, no experience in the office, literally just zero experience. And like I said, in August, they came in, they're doing 37,000. Excuse me, we're doing 37,000. In September, we did 42,000. October, we did 53. November, we did 56. December, we did 58. January, we did 64. February, we did 64. March, we did 70. In April, we also did 69. I was like, this thing, it's there, guys. It's right there. I'm like, we're going to do it. We're going to get to a million. And then what happened, Katie?
We wanted the millions so bad that we sacrificed our team, and 14 people within a month time span left the team, and we only had 16 team members at the time. So the whole team turned.
It was rough. It was rough. Yeah, we lost 14 of our 16 cleaners. We also lost Megan, one of our ops people as well. And so at that point, it was Keziah, 2 cleaners, and two OG cleaners, as we call them, and then everybody was brand spanking new, like fresh, like training. Like we were using trainees to fulfill cleans. Like it was insane. We turned up the ad spend for Indeed. We spent so much money on training. I don't know, I'll share some numbers below, but we spent more money, and in May our revenue dropped to $50,000. It was tough. It was tough.
That was backwards.
We went backwards. Yeah. And all of a sudden we were like, we're going to get to 1 million, to like, we might not have a business. And yeah, but we needed to learn the lesson. And Katie shared it a little bit, but the problem that we had is we put the revenue growth above the standards of the business. It cost us, because when you allow low performers to stay on the team, not only does it hurt your clientele, your clients are like, why do you keep sitting this person? Why is this person on the team? But it actually hurts your top performers who have to go clean up after them or have to work with them. And when you make top performers clean up after low performers, they don't feel valued. They don't feel respected. And we just were so focused on the revenue that like, we need this cleaner, because otherwise we can't continue to grow the business. Like we can't continue to like get more cleans on the schedule. And it cost us, big time. But since then, that's what we're focused on. And there was, over the last like 3 or 4 months, Keziah, who was in the office, and even Elia, who's like, at this point, actually Elia came in. We need to pull all resources in. Like, Elia, will you come help us now in Mesa, because we need your help, because everything's falling apart. And so Elia actually came in to help in Mesa. And she was doing in both Bozeman and Mesa for a period of time, because that's what we needed. We needed all hands on deck. And we really focused on putting the standards of the business ahead of the revenue. And it was tough, because we wanted to grow and we were not profitable. We were losing money. We were losing so much money. And so it was man, it was tough in that sense too. But I just kept on thinking that, like, if we could just actually make sure that we have, if we had cleaners who were respected, they saw they were respected, and that they had the opportunity to earn milestones and earn benefits, then I think that we could actually build a culture of empowerment rather than of entitlement. And yeah, June, July, August, September, now October, 5 months later, like, we have a great team. We have a great team, and that's what is a reflection that in October of 2025, which is last month, we did $92,000 of revenue collected.
I think that's a really, really good point right there, you guys. It took us 5 months to regrow our team to a team that, like, we're confident in filling their schedules now. 5 months.
Yeah. And it was like 2 months before that, like transitioning. So it was like, really, it was 7 months. It's been a long time. And yeah. And this was great, because I think Tyler's on here. I see Tyler on here. And so yeah, Tyler and Kellen were some of the people who trusted us before there was no credibility, no proof, kind of like, I did with Alex. And they started their home cleaning business with me in a hotel room, right? This was, I think, about a little over 2 years ago. They flew out to Arizona, and we started this business. And this last month, they got their business to $50,000 a month in revenue. And Tyler asked such a good question. He's like, what if we actually just like push this hard every single month? And I was like, Tyler, that is the fantastic question. And I think that's the part that most people, that I would like, I want to share that with people. And I think it's hard, because until you experience it, or unless you have somebody on your team who's experienced it, it's really hard to, like, for you guys to know, like, that can be done every single month. And that is the only reason that this Arizona location got to $92,000 within 19 months of being started, is that every single month it was a push. It was a struggle. Sometimes it was for clients, sometimes it was for cleaners, sometimes it was for just like money. Sometimes it just like, it was a push. It was a constant push and just throwing all resources at it and doing whatever it takes.
Did it take you back to the days when you did gym launch with Alex and he was like, you can do more? You can do more?
Exactly right. It's exactly right. Just like, you don't know what you can do until you've done it. And then you do it once, you're like, I can't do that again. And that's the value, just being part of like having somebody who says like, do it again, now do it again. And all of a sudden you do it a couple more times, like, oh, and then it becomes the standard of what you do. Right. And so, yeah, this Arizona location, guys, like it's what created the system. Like it's what created the system that we have today. And some of you guys might know this, but like we actually started the mentorship at the same time that we started this Arizona location. And some of you guys got into the mentorship for free. Some of you guys on here, like, raise your hand, like you like got part of the mentorship for free, right? Yeah, Julia, you're one of the people. There's quite a few of you on here. And at that time, again, the mentorship was free, and I just coached a handful of people. Coached 5 people at the time. And one of those people was Jessica and Lucas. Yeah, they had been in business for 10 years. And they had gone through different coaching programs, and they had just got done with the coaching program where they actually ended up they started the business, and they had ended the program with less revenue than when they started. And for some reason, they trusted me. They trusted me, and
Definitely was the squat.
Yeah, they trusted me more than I trusted them, because the first time that we got on a call, I just told them no. I was like, I don't know if I can help you. And they came back and they did everything I said to do, and they're like, no, I think you can help me. I was like, crap. So back to that fear, guys. Like it was me. It was me afraid of like, can I actually help this person? Can I actually fulfill on a promise to help them grow their business? And so I made the commitment, and they were the first people I've ever helped. And when they started doing coaching, this was in January of 2024. So again, almost 2 years ago now, they're doing $13,000 a month in revenue. And again, they'd been in business for 10 years. So it wasn't like they just started. They've been in business for over a decade. Some of you guys who are inside the mentorship, you guys saw the post, but they just hit their first $100,000 month.
Let's go.
Could you guys imagine being in business for 10 years and getting to $13,000 and then like less than 2 years later doing $100,000 a month?
Explosive growth.
Just wild, right? Just wild. And the reason I love to highlight them is because they really laid the path. Like they trusted me before there was any evidence. They've also given more than most people have. They actually been doing a free call inside the mentorship since April of 2024. So again, 18 months, 19 months. And that call, it's called Road to 100K. And they hit it. And so that call is actually on Wednesdays. So even for you guys who are not inside the paid mentorship, you guys are inside the free group, you guys have access to that call. And if you haven't been on that call, well, the very last one is on Wednesday. So definitely get on that call, and you can go see somebody else who literally has been documenting their journey of growing their business right in front of you. Okay. But again, someone like Jessica and Lucas, they laid the path for other people to follow. Because it wasn't now just Katie and I who had grown the first business, but now Jessica and Lucas had grown their businesses. And now inside the cleaning mentorship, now we have like Tristan and Emily. They started with us when they're doing $10,000 a month. And then this month, they just hit their first $83,000 a month. I remember meeting with them, and they did $10,000 a month, and it was Emily. It was Tristan's wife. She did the whole thing. I was like, holy shit, you're a machine.
We could put a system behind a machine. This thing could blow up.
She did all the revenue as the one cleaner. I was like, you're insane. You're insane. Someone like Renee Krause, when she started one-on-one coaching, she was doing $34,000. This month, she just hit $60,000. Wild. right? Marie Jed, she's on here as well. If you guys go back and listen to episode number 1, I actually asked her the question because I was like, I didn't know anything about her. I was like, tell me what your business revenue is at. She was like, we're doing about 25,000. I was like, cool. Her best month is 65,000. And then I think she did 63, 62 thousand as well after that. So like insane. Alexis and Lamar, they were doing 30,000. 1 year ago, they came to Decade a Day. And then you guys just saw their post inside the group as well. They hit 70,000 last month. Jacinta, another one-on-one client, she was doing 36,000 when they started working together, and now she's doing 84,000. Anna Harris, I'm not sure if Anna Harris is on here, but she was doing $10,000 when we started working together. Now her best month is 75,000. Kayla Irby, one-on-one, also doing one-on-one coaching. She was probably the person who started the highest. She had the I considered the highest revenue business when we first started working together. She was already doing 65,000 when we started working together. But this month she hit 136,000. So wild.
In a month.
In a month. Yeah, in a month. Kristen Hazunga. So Kristen actually works with Katie one-on-one. And when Kristen started one-on-one coaching with Katie, she was doing 12,000 a month. And this month she hit $53,000. Insane. Lindsay Watson.
That feeling of having it all.
Insane.
And you can do more. You can do more.
Yeah.
I think of you guys every time he tells that story. I'm like, I'm saying the right things because that's what Alex told us.
Yeah.
You can do more. You can do more.
Another one of Katie's one-on-one clients, Lindsay Watson, started in January with us, with Katie, doing $20,000 a month, and this month also at 53,000. Wild. Kayla Darling, same thing, started with Katie in January, around 20,000, and this month hit 50,000. I don't know if Listen Taylor on here, but Listen Taylor, when they first came to Decade a Day, they were doing $9,000 a month. They had contractors. They were trying to switch to employees. Yeah, now they're working with Katie one-on-one. In September, I don't know what they have done in October yet, but in September they did $62,000. Wild. And funny story about Alyssa and Taylor is actually had somebody who interviewed for a job for their company, and Alyssa was like, I don't know if you should work for me. I think you should just go start your own business. And then she referred them into the mentorship, and that person, instead of taking a job from Alyssa, decided to pay money for the mentorship. And that young lady was Kayla Holenbeck. And she started in the community from zero about 6 months ago. Started working with Lucas about a month and a half ago. And she just hit $40,000 in her 6th month of being in business. Going from wanting to be an employee to starting her own business. Insane.
What's that feel like, Kayla? Feels great, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The growth in this month was, I felt the pain, but I haven't even put my full, like the gas pedal's not all the way to the floor yet. So I'm just excited. That's all. There's
more room, guys. There's more room. And yeah, again, it's crazy. Again, I'll come back to this in a second, but like insane. And I think one of the reasons that Kayla also is like, just believes she can do it is Julia. When Julia Callahan came out for her group Decade a Day, which happened a couple months ago, I was like, you're the Roger Bannister of the home cleaning business. And so if you guys are unfamiliar with the name Roger Bannister, he's the person who was the first person to ever run a 4-minute mile. And so the 4-minute mile was something that seemed impossible up until the point where Roger Bannister actually did it. But what we call the Roger Bannister effect is that after Roger Bannister did the unthinkable, he ran a 4-minute mile, that same year, over 1,000 people were able to then run a 4-minute mile, just because they saw it and they believed it, and it became real. It's like it was possible. And so what Julia has done for our community is the Roger Bannister effect, is that she started in the mentorship with zero business. Again, she was part of this free group. Again, lucky. But not also lucky, but just, she also like did her part by like putting herself in the situation to figure out all the resources that were available to her. And she started her cleaning business from zero business experience as well. It wasn't like she'd come from a different business. She had zero business experience, zero cleaning experience. And she got the business to $20,000 a month. So she started in September, and by November, she got it to $20,000 a month. Again, just using the free stuff. And then she committed to coaching. And last month, in September, she did $83,000, which was $1 million run rate. But this month, she did $103,000. And her business didn't even exist 14 months ago. That's the Roger Bannister effect, right? You guys, the reason that this call started 87 weeks ago was because of that. It's because Katie and I were attempting to do the Roger Bannister thing, and we couldn't do it, but one of you guys did. And that's what really matters the most. And it was cool because this morning, Julie and I have our one-on-one on Monday mornings, and I just asked her I was like, what do you think about actually helping people, right? Kind of like with Jessica and Lucas and Kayla Irby, with what they did for, long time. It's like giving back to the community, like sharing your experiences and sharing your wisdom with other people, because it's different coming from you than it is coming from Katie or I. Katie and I are like mom and dad, right? Julia and Lucas and Kayla Irby, they're like brother, sister. And so, like, yes, you have respect for mom and dad, but like there's a different level of respect you have for your siblings, for your peers. And so I was like, what do you think about potentially you like helping people who are coming into the community? And I mean, she was hungry as well. I was like, you just think about it, right? So I don't know if she's actually gonna do it, but she was hungry for it. Yeah, so the mentorship now is not free anymore, but we do have a really cool opportunity for people to join the mentorship, and that's our 20-day challenge. And the 20-day challenge is really an opportunity for you to be able to test the system, for you to see the system, and then for you the opportunity to like see if it'll work for you. Because like I can show you all the people who it has worked for, but like the truth of the matter is like it is really not for everybody. It's not. And that's okay. That's okay. And so if you guys are interested in like being part of the system, you guys have an opportunity to like try it out, test it out. Like you literally get access to the same system that we have used now twice to build our business, that Julia has used to build our business, that Kayla and Lindsay and Kayla and Alyssa and Kayla Irby, like all the Kaylas, Anna Harris, Jacinta, Alexis, Marie, Renee, Tristan, Emily, Jessica, and Lucas, and there's more people who I could continue to go on, who have used the system to like double, triple, quadruple their businesses. Like you could use the same system. And you could be in the same community, the same mentorship with these people. You could actually ask them questions. That was one thing that somebody sent the other day. She wanted to know if she could like reach out to these people. I'm like, yes, ask them questions. That's the value of the community in itself. Yeah. So anyway, James just dropped the link for the 20-day challenge. If you guys are interested, it's literally $600. If you wanted to know the price, I'll just tell you the price. I don't give a shit. It's super cheap. And it's super cheap for an opportunity for you to get your hands on a system. And then after the 20 days, if you want to stay in the mentorship, then we'll give you an option to stay. And to stay in the mentorship right now, it's only $3,600 for lifetime, like one payment. It's just so cheap. But the reason is that it's more expensive than free. And by the way, guys, that's how I started, was free. And so I just want to make sure that if you guys do join the challenge and you guys do join the mentorship, that like there's just like it's unreasonable for you to not be able to get a return on the money. And as the system gets better, the price will go up, and because the system will get better. But as of right now, that's the price. And so if you guys are interested in joining the mentorship, you literally can start at $599, and then if you want to stay, it's $3,600 for life. It means you never get kicked out, ever. And that's how you build a real freaking community, is that you don't get kicked out. Yeah, and so like Janessa, I didn't get a chance to highlight you. Like you just made a post inside the community. Yeah. It just got me because like you're the person. You're the reason why I don't kick people out. is because like everyone's on a different timeline. There's other things that are happening in life. Like there's other things that might not make it so you don't have the attention, you don't have the commitment to be able to like go all in your business right now. But like when you're ready, I want you to like be able to like have access to the resources to be able to like grow your freaking business. And so like your post, it got me more than anybody else's did. It's like that's the reason. That's why we're doing what we're doing. So cool. So cool. So yeah, guys. James, if you will, drop the link for the 20-day challenge one more time, please. So if you guys are interested, you guys can apply for the challenge. And again, trying to give you guys as much clarity as possible. Like after you guys apply, you literally schedule a call. You'll talk with Katie. Katie will see what your problems are, see if we can help you out. She's not going to ask you for a single freaking dollar. In fact, no money. And then if she thinks you're a good fit and you think it's a good fit after that call, then she'll schedule a call with me. And then we'll determine if it's a good fit for you or not. And then even after that, I don't take your money. Then we'll schedule an onboarding. And then at the onboarding, by the third call, if you still want to give us money, then we'll take your money. We care more about you becoming one of the stories inside the program than I care about your freaking $600. And so if you're interested in that, you can apply. The reason I don't necessarily care about your $500, and I'll say that, I say that in jest, like I care about money just as much as anybody else does. It's just not what I prioritize. I don't prioritize money over relationships. I don't prioritize money over reputation. And that took me a long time to get to the point. It took me a lot of putting money above those things to realize I don't want to do those things. So it wasn't like it came from this place of like altruism and like I can like whatever. It came from me just making the mistake and realizing that it's stupid. And so now like I just want to make sure that the reputation and my relationships of people are prioritized above money. And by doing that, it's weird. Money just keeps coming in and it keeps on coming in. Like it continues to compound. And so that's really what Katie and I's goals are, is to build a $5 million business by the end of 2026. So that's in like a year and a half, like year and some change. Okay. And the only way that we can do that is through other people and them having trust in us. Like we can't do that alone. Okay. And that's by helping other people have success and then them coaching the next person on how to be successful. Okay. And so that's the reason why we want to grow bigger, is so we can actually be able to teach you guys, as you guys finally get to 1 million, guess what? You can go to 2. After you get to 2, guess what? You can go to 3. You can go to 4 and 5, right? Like that's the goal. And what I discovered, again, I was so afraid to work. If you guys remember me going back into this like story, I was so afraid to work because I was afraid to give my freedom. But I realized that avoiding like real freedom isn't avoiding the work. Real freedom is about building something worth working for. I was like, oh my God. And that's what I'm doing right now. Like I work more than ever now, more days, more frequency, more intensity, all of it more.
And you also have a way bigger desire to actually work.
And I'm like so excited every single day. Like I just get so jacked to work. I'm so excited because like what we're building now, like it's bigger, it's more meaningful, it's impactful. And so how are we going to get there? Like $5 million, right? We have Mesa and Bozeman, right? So Bozeman will do that 1.5. Mesa is just like, it's trailing 12, just crossed 800,000, which is actually pretty cool. So it'll probably close around 900,000. So that means we're about $2.5 million. So we're like about $2.5 million shy. So what are we going to do for 2026? Well, number one, we're going to keep pushing on Mesa and Bozeman, but we have a pretty big announcement that is going to happen later this month that we're going to share. One of you guys knows what that is. Only one person outside of Katie knows what that is on here. We've actually kept it pretty under wraps because it just hasn't proved to be something that we haven't really known if it was going to work out or not. But at this point, I'm saying enough for it to like high probability it's going to work out. So and that's it. You guys will have to get on another road to million call to figure that one out, what that one is. But that one's going to be a huge impact on us being able to continue to close the gap on that $5 million goal. And yeah, one thing I want to share with you guys here, as we head out here, we have now helped 7 different businesses become $1 million businesses. Our Montana location, you guys heard, started from 0. That thing does now 1.5 million. Kayla Irby was the second business. Again, her business started at 65,000. Now she's going to do probably about 1.4 million as well. So it's about about $130,000 a month. Last month she did 136. Jessica and Lucas, when we started working with them, they were doing 13,000. Now doing over 100. Jacinta, I'm not sure if Jacinta's on here, but when she started doing one-on-one coaching, she was doing 36,000, and now she's doing over $83,000 a month. Julia, as you guys heard, Julia started at 0, now doing over 100,000 a month. Tristan and Emily, we started working with them. They were doing 10,000 a month, and now they're doing 83,000. And then lastly, Mesa started at 0, 87 weeks ago, and did $92,000 a month. And so what I want to share with you guys is what I see is the commonalities between those 7 businesses, okay? What it actually takes. And the first thing, you guys ready for this? It takes courage. It takes the courage to commit. And so, Katie, do you mind if I share the story about our conversation about your cut?
Yeah, go for it.
So a couple weeks ago, Katie told me about her plan to do a cut, right? So if you guys aren't familiar with the word cut, it's just when she's going to lose weight. She's going to make an active attempt to lose weight, okay? And so she told me her plan, and I was like,
Triggered.
I'll say triggered. I want to help you, right? And giving advice to your spouse, guys, is very challenging. As you guys would know, it's easier to give a stranger advice or a peer advice than just to give your wife advice. So it's very challenging.
Don't try to control me.
Yeah, it's no matter how good your information is, no matter how much your proof is, the relationship, the difference between giving advice to your spouse is very challenging. And that's honestly one of the reasons that I appreciate Katie so much, because she is the reason that I've been able to help the Jessica, all the other businesses. She's the reason. She's the reason because she actually accepted me coaching her, which is it's not normal. It's not normal. Not normal. So very grateful for that. And so when Katie told me her plan, I was like, can I just offer a different perspective? And she agreed. And what I told her is, think about you coaching your cleaning business clients. I was like, do you care more about their strategy to get to the goal, or that they're just committed to the goal itself? And I was like, I don't care how you get to this goal. I just want you focused on you get to the goal. Because her strategy was well, I'll do this for 3 weeks, and then this, and then I'll do this for 3 weeks, and then we'll see what happens after that. I was like, I don't necessarily think, I thought your plan was fine, but let's just commit to the big goal, the scary one, the one that scares the shit out of you, the one that you're I'm not sure if I can get there. And then I saw it change. I saw the change of it, and all of a sudden there was a relief of okay, I'm just gonna commit to hitting the goal. I'm gonna get rid of the timeline. I'm gonna get rid of there's just got to be a certain strategy. It's gonna get ugly. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to just get to the freaking goal. And it just takes weight off of you of okay, I don't have to get there by a certain time. I don't have to do it just a certain way. It doesn't have to be carnivore or keto or no carb or whatever baloney out there. It's just I'm just going to get to the freaking goal, whatever it takes. And that's freeing. And I saw that happen in all 7 of those locations. I saw that we have to let go of it having to be a certain way under a certain time frame and just commit to the goal. And it takes courage to commit, guys. It's scary. It's scary. That's the first thing. The second thing is the humility to learn. The biggest thing that stopped me from growing my first 3 years in business, the reason why I only made $5,000 of revenue for 3 years is because I had an ego. No matter what you told me, I was right.
Even for 6 months working with Dr. Kashi.
Even for 6 months. I know better. And every big breakthrough I've ever had in life is when I just had the humility to just let go and just trust that I didn't know. And I was willing to learn. My biggest breakthroughs in life have come through those every single time. The third common trait So if we have the courage to commit being number one, we have the humility to learn being number two. The third thing I see in common with the 7 businesses that have built million-dollar businesses is the conviction to sell. So this is probably the first tactical one that's on here. But if you want to grow a million-dollar business, guys, you got to learn how to sell strangers. Sell strangers the opportunity for you to deliver a 5-star experience, for you to come in their home, meet expectations. You got to be able to sell cleaners that you can actually, to give you the opportunity to pay their bills, to make ends meet. And you got to have the conviction to sell office staff on the opportunity for them to grow as human beings, to acquire more skills, to become more valuable. If you don't have the conviction to sell, you will not grow a million-dollar business. And then the very last one. So if we have the courage to commit, the humility to learn, the conviction to sell, the fourth common trait amongst all the 7 businesses that have become million-dollar businesses is you must have the self-control to be consistent, disciplined, and persistent when things don't go your way. Those are the 4 things. I'm actually going to have James upload those into the replay to this call for you guys who are inside the free home cleaning courses group and for you guys who are inside the mentorship, so you guys can have access to those 4 things. That's what it takes, guys. Those are the 4 things. And 3 of them were up here, and 1 of them was actually tactical. So that's probably the right ratio. And so as much as the system, guys, as much as the system is good, the biggest variable is going to be the person running the system. And how do we take care of the person running the system is that we provide accountability for the person. And that's really what mentorship is. That's what coaching is. It's accountability. Okay. So this is what Katie and I, like, it's kind of become clear exactly what we're doing inside this mentorship. Okay. We've actually set the home cleaning mentorship up like a franchise. How many of you guys are familiar with the term franchise? Right? So if you guys aren't familiar with the term franchise, a franchise is essentially like a system and a name and a brand that you can buy that has a high probability of being successful. So some of the most popular franchises in the world are like McDonald's and Subway, right? Those are like fast food restaurants, okay? But inside the home cleaning business, they're like Molly Maids and Mary Maids and The Maids. Those are probably the 3 top home cleaning franchises right now. Do you guys know how much it costs to become a franchise of one of those 3 businesses, the ones that have like the longest track history, I guess the most credible?
Yeah, 6 figures.
Yeah. So I ChatGPT this, so I'll save you guys the sake of having a ChatGPT, but I'll do it for you. So the Molly Maid franchise fee is $15,000 plus a territory fee between $45,000 to $70,000 for a total estimated investment of $139,000 to $197,000. Mary Maid's costs range from $126,000 to $165,000. The Maid's total investment is $81,000 to $159,000. Now, guys, hold on. There are also lower cost cleaning franchise opportunities, some as low as $50,000. But bottom line, expect somewhere between the mid 100Ks for a well-established cleaning franchise. The home cleaning mentorship is $3,600. This is why I laugh, guys. This is why I laugh. For life, you get access to the systems, which is one of the reasons you would buy a franchise for. But guess what? Here's actually a benefit of the mentorship versus the franchise. And if you ever want to stop using the system, you can stop using the system. And guess what? A franchise also takes a percentage of your revenue. It's not just the upfront cost. Those are upfront costs, guys. Franchises also take a royalty every single month. And there's like these contracts that are like ridiculous. By the way, I looked into starting a franchise. I actually paid somebody, again, another coach. I actually didn't include him into this mentorship. Someone who's actually in the landscape business or in the mow and blow business. I paid him over $1,000 an hour as well to learn a little more about franchising and just come to the conclusion that I'm like, I don't want a franchise. right? I didn't like it. It didn't sit well with me. I didn't like it. Although the way that he ran it, I will be fair to him, like he ran it more like a coaching program, which like if I did run a franchise, I'd do it like he did, but like I didn't like it. I didn't like the franchise model. Literally the home cleaning mentorship is $3,600 right now. Again, you guys are listening to this into the future, like it's probably more expensive. Sorry. But right now it's what it is. And you guys can literally get started for $5.99 for the 20-day challenge. I don't know. I just trying to make it like silly. It's silly. Like if you actually want to grow in our business and you actually want the right system and you think you're the person who has the courage to commit, the humility to learn, the conviction to sell, and the self-control to be consistent, disciplined, persistent, like this is who this is for. That's who it's for. Okay. James, if you will, drop the link one more time for 20-day challenge. And Katie, any final thoughts on what we talked about today?
No, I was a blubbery mess there for a while when you were talking about everybody winning in the community. So I'm just really grateful for you, Logan, for having an aversion to work for so long that now that you're bought in again, you're so fulfilled by helping other people.
Yeah.
And none of this would be possible without to make that vision become reality.
I think what I've discovered, guys, is the things that we try to avoid the most are the things that, like, if we actually just confront them and go through them, they become the thing that fulfill us the most. And I've seen that in my life so many times. The things I've wanted to avoid, I've dropped my feet on for so long, they're the things that have like given me so much joy and fulfillment and so much pride. And I just want to be able to share that with you guys through stories. And that's what today is. You guys probably heard me tell lots of stories, and it's because they're all true. And you guys have stories in your head too. And if you guys can just make yourselves the hero of your story, the probability of you achieving these milestones and being just like the Julias and the Jessica Lucases and the Kayla Irbies, it's very possible. Just got to have the four things: courage to commit, the humility to learn, the conviction to sell, and the self-control to be consistent, disciplined, and persistent when things don't go your way. Thank you, guys. Like this would not be possible without you guys. You guys have been showing up for 87 straight freaking weeks. Again, Janissa, you've been on here since number one. So good to see you. Marie Jed, you were on here number one as well. And like, I just have so much appreciation for you guys. Like this would not happen without you guys. And thank you guys so much. And yeah, if you guys have not bookmarked this or you guys haven't put it on your calendars, like check out Jessica and Lucas's very last Road to 100K call, and you guys get to hear another story and another example of somebody who grew the business from $10,000 to $100,000 a month, and you get to hear their stories. And the more that you guys connect with their stories and just realize it's possible, then like you have your story. And the more that you can like start to tell your story now, then you eventually can tell it what it was, you leading up to it in the past. But it starts with you being able to see the vision first, for then you eventually to tell how you did it second. So happy freaking Monday, guys. Go get on that call. And thank you guys for showing up. And we'll be back for week number 88. And we're going to continue to grow this business and close in on that $5 million home cleaning business to, yeah, make sure that we have the skill sets to be able to continue to help you guys, not just for a season, but for many years to come. So appreciate you guys.